Jesus came to me in my coma, and he literally put his arm around me, and he said, "Are you done?" And I know exactly what he meant. He meant, "Are you done with this lifestyle?" Because I was done. I was tired. I was tired of living the lifestyle, the drug lifestyle, the party lifestyle. I was so tired. And I said, "Yes, Jesus, I'm done." And I woke up.
How do you find and keep hope alive?
I will find hope in what Jesus Christ did for me.
Do we believe?
My hope is centered totally, completely in Him.
Do we trust?
I have hope today because of what Jesus did on the cross.
His hope doesn't change.
Hope is triumph in our triumph.
Hey, thanks for joining us on the Light FM for another hopeful conversation. My name is John Wood, and for the last 9.5 years, I've had the privilege of saying I'm the afternoon host on the Light FM. And I'm so grateful for each and every moment that I've gotten to spend with you during that time. But you know what I'm really excited about today? That changes. And I mean it. I can't wait to introduce you to a new friend. And just to make sure we clear up any confusion, I didn't get fired, at least not yet. They haven't got rid of me yet. But we are so excited to announce to you the newest member of the Light FM on-air team. I know you are going to love them. So without further ado, I want to introduce the brand new afternoon show host on the Light FM, Miss Brenda Price.
Oh, I just love that introduction.
Brenda,
so
we're
awesome.
so excited to have you here.
I'm so excited to be here. And you know what? You are amazing. I've been listening to you for so long now. So, gosh, you got to come and visit me on the show, will you?
Deal. I will take you up on that anytime.
Good.
So, and Brenda, what our friend may not realize who's watching or listening right now is this is kind of the culmination of a journey. We have been so looking forward to finding you in this family, and they may not even realize just how long you've been walking alongside us.
Oh, my goodness. It just took me 7 years to get this job. Okay, so when you told me that the interview process was long, yes, 7 years is a very long time.
You can confirm.
Yes. But yes, I've been a part of the Light FM family for so long as a listener, and I don't even live here. I didn't even live here in North Carolina at the time. So I actually interviewed for a job here years and years ago when Carol was the boss here.
Yeah.
So I interviewed with her. It was about 7 years ago, and I started listening to the Light FM, and I started really just becoming just so in love with the programming because it's just not only the music and the teaching part of it, but it was like, this is such a special Christian radio station because you are a Christian radio station and your heartbeat is Jesus and everybody's just so real. And so I was interviewing and I met John Owens, the general manager. So I got that far. But at the same time, what happened was I had just gotten back from doing missions with YWAM. And I was ready, at least I thought I was ready to just to get back into the swing of things in Christian radio. But at that time, I wasn't ready for the light. It just wasn't in God's timing at that time. So I was interviewing at the same time for a country music radio station in Daytona Beach. And it happened to be that this country radio station that I got the job at was John Owens' first radio job in radio. So John Owens and I were able to build a working relationship. Yeah. And the town that I went to, his father was a huge figure in the county because his father actually ran the county fair, the Volusia County Fair. So I just kept listening to Light FM and kept in touch with John Owens every once in a while. And it was just amazing because the Light FM was the Christian radio station that I always listened to because there's this lovely thing called the app. So you can go anywhere in the world and listen to the Light. And that's what I did. And I always kept in touch and I always was like looking to see if you were hiring. And then was it a year ago? Just kidding. I don't even know. But it was a long time ago. Recently, I was just like literally on my couch watching television. I was like, I'm going to see if the Light is hiring. Boom. And I went to a website and there it was. And I was like, oh my gosh. The Light FM is doing afternoons. They're hiring afternoons. And I think you and John might have told me, you and John Owens might have told me that I probably was like the first or second application that you got, like instantly. Yeah. I was like, I'm in. Hi, guys. So that's where it all started. And now I still can't believe I'm here. I have to pinch myself. So.
Well, we're so excited because Brenda is going to be hosting the afternoon show from 3 to 7 each and every afternoon. I know you're going to be encouraged when you hear her. As you can tell, she is passionate. She loves people. And you know, one of the things, Brenda, I think when we were going through this process, one of the things that really jumped out to us was just you have such a heart and appreciation for Jesus and what he's done for you. And our friend who's spending time with us right now, as they've spent time with Light FM, they know that's our heartbeat. Each and every day, we want to try to make sure it's not about us. We're just shining back that light of Jesus. And I would love, if you're willing, just to share a little of your story, because I think just to see how God has used you already in so many incredible ways and what is on deck now, I think it'd be a real encouragement.
Oh, yeah. I didn't grow up in the church at all. I've always heard about Jesus. I think I went to church with maybe some friends, maybe catechism every once in a while. I thought it was cool. But I never went to church. I didn't grow up that way. So I went when I graduated high school, I went into the acting world, into the New York City, and I was there acting, modeling, things like that. But I got heavily into partying, and I got heavily into drugs. So for so many years, I was partying so much, and I became a drug addict. And what had happened was I had accidentally overdosed, and I literally was dying. I was in a coma, and I was in New Jersey at the time, and my family was in Florida. So, I had a godmom who, when my mother passed away, this was probably just a few years before I overdosed. My mom had passed away. So I had a godmom who was trying to teach me about Jesus, because I know when my mom was dying, she was like, "Can you please tell my daughter about Jesus?" And that was like, really? You really think that I'm going to teach your daughter about Jesus? She's crazy. So she tried to teach me about Jesus. She would show me videos about Jesus, and I would learn about who he was and the story of the gospel and going to the cross and everything. But I never had a relationship with Jesus, but I knew about Jesus. So, Jesus, you hear in the Bible, it says that Jesus leaves the 99 for the one. And I really believe that that's what he did for me. So what had happened was I had overdosed. I was in a coma, and my brother had flown up from Florida, and the doctors were telling him, they said, "You got to say goodbye to your sister. She's going." Sometimes it's hard for me because I just can't imagine what it was like for my brother at that moment. But he was literally saying goodbye to me, and Jesus came to me in my coma. I can see him clear as day, and he literally put his arm around me, and he said, "Are you done?" And I know exactly what he meant. He meant, "Are you done with this lifestyle?" Because I was done. I was tired. I was tired of living the lifestyle, the drug lifestyle, the party lifestyle. I was so tired. And I said, "Yes, Jesus, I'm done." And I woke up. And I just remember, I literally remember seeing my brother there. But the first thing I noticed was, why do I have these gray hospital socks on that have like sticky mats on the bottom of these socks? Like, where am I? Like, what's going on? It took me a minute. And then I was like, and then my brother was kind of shocked at like, what? And I woke up, and Jesus brought me back to life. And he took all of my talents from that point, because I was in secular radio, and I was, doing acting and modeling and all that other stuff for the secular world. But Jesus literally took all of the gifts that he had given me, and he turned them around for his kingdom. And I have been working in Christian ministry and Christian radio ever since. Now, I am far from perfect, and I mess up all the time. I'm still growing and learning about Jesus and learning about the Bible and growing in the Lord and learning about what it means to live your life and give your life to Jesus Christ. So I feel, and I know in my heart, that Jesus woke me up and saved my life because I'm to tell his story. And I just love it so much because I'm able to understand where people come from when they don't really know who Jesus is, or they never walked with Jesus, or maybe they're not believers yet. I get it. So now it's my honor. That's why I have so much passion for him, because he literally saved my life and changed my life. And he's so cool. And the Bible's so awesome. Like, I just can't get enough of it. So I really feel that he brought me back to life because I'm on a mission to make sure that as many people can hear about him. So
yeah. Well, and it's interesting because you just made a comment that I know what it's like for those who may not know him yet, right? That they've never experienced him in the way that you now know him, right? And that journey that you're walking. As you look back on that time, like, what is that thing you think, man, if I could go back and tell myself something before all of that had happened, before that encounter had happened, like, what do you know about Jesus now that you think that younger version of yourself would have wanted to know?
He's real. He's real, and he's awesome. And it's interesting that you asked me that question, John, because at the same time, the first thing that comes to my mind is I wouldn't change a thing because of the fact that if I did know anything else, I wouldn't have had the testimony that I have. So, because I think people ask me that a lot, like, would you change anything? No, absolutely not. I wouldn't. I wouldn't be who I am today without all the mess ups and all the craziness. But I think the most important thing that I would tell myself is, Jesus is real and he's going to save you, so don't be afraid. But I realized through everything that one of the main reasons why I lived that lifestyle was because I lost my mom at an early age. I lost my mom to cancer when I was 25 years old. So I probably would go back to that day and be like, I know it's painful right now, but God is going to use this. Jesus is going to use this in a very, very powerful way. So that's what I would say.
Yeah. Nothing's wasted, right?
Nothing. We were just talking about that,
That's right? That's
nothing is wasted. Absolutely nothing is wasted.
Well, it's obvious. And the fact that you see it that way is so beautiful. I think it's just so perfect. I mean, really, you think about how God writes grace stories. In certain chapters, you're like, how is this going to end? How are things going to go? And he says, yeah, but where you see a period, I see a comma.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Can we make a Light FM t-shirt?
That's
right.
Right.
That's on the front. The Light FM on the back.
If you let me come and hang out on the show every once in a while, maybe so. No, but it is exciting, and we are so thrilled that you're here now, that we have a chance to just see what God is going to do, what new hope stories are going to continue to be written through this ministry, and have you a part of that. It's going to be so much fun. So I do have a couple of quick questions just so our friend can get to know you a little bit better, okay?
Okay.
All right, we'll start simple, then we'll get a little more exciting as we go, okay?
Okay.
Favorite color?
Oh, my favorite color? Well, it's black, but everyone always says, but that's not a color. But that's my favorite color is black.
Okay. Tell us about your family.
My family. Oh, my goodness. Well, I'm married. My husband's name is Ernest, and he's awesome. But this week, actually, October 7th is our 2-year anniversary.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so we've made it to 2 years. Yes. So we've been together 5 years. And my husband actually has a similar story as I. So we're both, we both come from that kind of past. So we're growing, we're learning. Marriage is new. I'm learning in the second year that communication is so important. So my husband and I came here to Asheville, and he's excited. He's an electrician, so he's excited to be here in Asheville as well. So he's cool. And then I have 2 stepkids, my husband's sons, so they're pretty awesome. They're in their 20s. And my mother-in-law and my father-in-law, they're all in Daytona, Florida. Such great people. They're crazy, just like me. We are just all so crazy and messy and broken in so many ways. So that's my husband's family. But I have 2 little nieces. They're 10 and 11, and they're just so cool. I can't wait to bring them here. I'm so excited.
Are you the fun aunt?
Yes.
You're the fun aunt, aren't you? I can totally see that.
I'm the one that, sometimes my aunt, or my sister-in-law and my brother, sometimes I can tell her, well, I don't, should we leave them alone with her? I don't, and I have to ask, hey, I just did a video of all of us jamming out to Jeremy Camp. Can I post it? Is it okay? But they're all in Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay.
So they're awesome. And I have family also in Connecticut. But my parents are in heaven now. Both of them passed by cancer. So, so now the Light FM is my family. So can I tell the story really quick about what you guys did for us?
Sure.
Do we have time?
Go for it.
I know I'm interrupting your question.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
But I just want to say really quick, when you said being a part of the Light FM family, you guys really welcomed me, and whoever's listening right now and watching, when the Light FM says that their family, during the impact days, when you say that you are here for each other and your family and it's real, what you hear on the Light FM is what is happening behind the scenes. And it's so real because my husband and I had a really hard time getting here to Asheville, and we know it's spiritual warfare. We know that that there was definitely things trying to keep us from coming here because of what God is doing through the Light FM. Well, our car broke down. The engine blew. We got a flat tire. It took us 20 hours to get here. We were extremely exhausted, extremely tired. We actually had to let go of our car on the side of the road because it blew in Tennessee. So the next morning, when you guys had actually texted me to ask me if I was okay, I told all of you what had happened and how we were exhausted and scared and tired, and we just didn't really know what was going on. So the Light FM, everybody at the Light FM just really stood up. Not only did they get our car to a safe place, but you guys also showed up at my apartment and helped empty our van. And like I didn't even ask for it. So, that was how now I feel that I am really around family, and that's exactly what you guys said to me. You're part of the family now, Brenda. Your family's here to help you. So whoever's listening right now, when you hear Light FM say that on the air, it is so real. So now it's making this whole week, like I really do feel like now I'm going to be on the air with my family. It's so cool.
Okay, so since you bring that up, I think this is a natural time to then kind of talk about that, because obviously we're excited to have you here. It's a change. It's something new, and we're so glad you're part of the team. So for our friend who's listening and they're thinking, oh, man, I really like her. She's fun. She's energetic. She's passionate about Jesus. What do you hope to share with our friend during that afternoon time slot each and every day?
Oh, get ready. It's gonna get crazy up in here. No, I don't know. I would like for it to get crazy, fun, and wild, but who knows? But I think what we're gonna do is we're really gonna laugh. We're gonna cry. We're gonna get real. Because I'm not afraid to tell you when I messed up and got angry. I'm not afraid to tell you like, oh man, I messed up. I got angry the other day, or this is what what's happening, or I just had I'm dealing with anxiety, or I'm dealing with this. So it's gonna be come and just sit and be real with me. Because we're going to love on Jesus. We're going to talk about Jesus. We're going to also laugh and cry. And we're going to talk about the 5,000 things we just picked up at Target, even though we went in for one thing. So, it's going to be just real and everything. It's going to be tons of fun.
We can't wait.
Yeah, I can't wait.
So excited. Brenda Price, new afternoon show, 3 to 7 each weekday. Brenda, we're so glad you're here.
Oh, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much.